Welcome back to CISM. Today we have a wonderful interview with Ryan.
Hi, I am Ryan Huckla.
Ryan served as the president of Niagara College's Student Administrative Council. A Canadian student, local to the area, Ryan got involved in many international student events and made lifelong friends from all over the world. Let's hear his story.
Hey Ryan, how's it going?
It is going fantastic. I am the mentioned Ryan, and I am former president of Niagara College's Student Administrative Council. I was born and raised in the Niagara region. I've spent about 98% of my life always living in Niagara. I'm actually now on a 9-month contract in a small town in Quebec. But I'll talk about a bit that later because I think it ties into some great points around being in a different culture, different place with a different language.
Absolutely. Oh, how fascinating. Congratulations as well on the position. What was the Niagara College education experience like for you?
It was fantastic. I actually went to university and found that the program that I was in just wasn't the right match for me. I thought, when I was, 17 that I knew what I wanted in my life. Turned out it wasn't what I wanted in my life. And attending Niagara College, it was just the wires, everything just fit perfectly, it matched.
Ryan, could you talk about the engagement you had with the international students and your running for the president of the student union?
So I can still remember, I was part of a club called the Nerds and Geeks Club at our college. Wow. And I know, I may not look it, but I'm something of a little nerd myself. So I exit the club meeting and all of these students were in these beautiful outfits. It's 10 o'clock on a Friday. What is going on? And it turned out that the college was celebrating Diwali. At that time, I was the event programmer for the student government. And so I'm meeting with the event planner from the international division, and I'm just like, I need to learn more. I'm like, I was amazed. I was like taken. I was like, oh my gosh, like this looks like so much fun. How do I get involved? And so that led me down an incredible journey of, different student hosted events from say like Slavic nights to, as I mentioned, Diwali celebrations, to just international mixers, only being, in the Niagara region my whole life. I know there's a whole globe that I still have yet to see, but this is what I want to see. This is what I want to experience. This is what I want to learn.
Oh, how wonderful. That's nice to hear you had the opportunity to experience so many different cultures and that the international students had an opportunity to share their cultures at your school.
I had students that I worked with while I was president and on the board from all different parts of the world, whether that be the Ukraine, Belarus, India, Nigeria, a lot of these places where we were able to get together and, really explore what it meant to be a Niagara College student, no matter the walk of life.
Can you talk a little bit about the growth you've seen in Niagara College with international students over the past 5 years or so, in part related to these events, perhaps part related to the education itself?
I think the secret got out that Niagara College had such a winning formula when it came to educating students, both, globally and, globally, but that, of the opportunities, for a great education, for an opportunity to work within Canada, an opportunity, for those students who really found Canada to kind of be their second home to, one day become a permanent citizen.
It's wonderful to hear that you've had so many friends who've been able to come and call Canada home. It's a really interesting concept, home, especially for international student, been exposed to the experiences that your international friends are. Has that changed your relationship with the idea of home?
For me, Niagara has always been my home. As I said, for, almost my entire life, I have lived within Niagara. And I like to think that I'm a good host. And so when these students and I would, meet and become friends, I was happy to, show them, hiking trails. I was happy to show them, attractions. And I am so happy when I get to be able to say, hey, hop in my car. Like, let's drive on down to Niagara Falls. I'll show you all the great spots, and, again, open that door. The students, they brought so much. If you told me that I would be celebrating Diwali in Niagara, 5 years ago, I would have looked at you and said, what? But these students, just brought the culture, and they wanted to share. Not only did they want to experience, what this place, Canada, is like, but they said, oh, you want to learn about me as well? I'm like, absolutely I do, because I haven't had the chance to, go globetrotting yet. And what you bring is so valuable. So it's like, please tell me about your country. Tell me about what's going on and open my eyes more.
Cross-cultural sharing is definitely a wonderful gift. I would agree with you for that. Are there any other things that you find you've learned from international students or about the experience of being an international student?
Just being a student, there are so many different there's so many different challenges that, are from moving to a, totally different, not only country, but times continent as well, to come study and, be separated from your, childhood friends, your family. So it was incredible to just see these, inner strength that a lot of these students had. I wanted to make sure when I was representing and serving these students as president, that I knew what they were going through. Yes, it was the fun times of, kind of the more social, cultural, but, what are the challenges? What are things that, you can, what is considered normal where you're from, that when, when you're here, you're scratching your head. I had a friend from Ukraine goes to me and goes, Ryan, all of you are all you Canadians are walking around all the time with big smiles on your face. And that's weird because we don't smile that much, when we are home, in the Ukraine. And I look at him and I go, well, I'm glad that means when I see you smile that I must actually be funny, because you wouldn't be faking it otherwise. In Quebec, since September 2020, and myself now being in a place where primarily is spoken French. Mm-hmm. I primarily speak English, but sitting back going, oh my gosh, there are times where it's not easy for me, and I go, and I'm still in Canada. I think of these students, and my hat, if I was wearing a hat, it'd come off to them because of their inner strength and just the tenacity.